Your line.
G'day, Pablo. Congratulations on a point. I assume you're quite content with the point, and maybe more specifically the substitution pattern from yourself. All the lads that came off the bench seemed to have an impact, but it seemed like immediately when Rubio and Anderson came on, the game kind of changed.
Yeah, I'd like to take some of the credit for the result tonight, but again, all the credit goes to the guys who stepped on the field and did a fantastic job. Right, the guys that started, the guys that came in. At times it looked a little bit leggy, but the guys that came in definitely brought a great boost of energy and some really good play. And I think super satisfied with the point. But I felt like we were really, really close to taking all three tonight. And but again, I think the performance was really good.
You also opted to bring on Bryan Oviedo, who only joined the team earlier this week, which would potentially suggest just how highly you think of him. Do you believe that Oviedo could play a serious role for you boys down the stretch?
Absolutely, especially given the fact that we have so many games in such a short amount of time. Brody and Aaron have really been logging in a ton of minutes. I think Brody's work tonight was fantastic, getting up and down the flank, and just knowing that as the game wears on, they're going to try to find a way to throw numbers forward, and just felt like fresh legs were really important. The other part of that is integrating Bryan, because he's come to us with only 8 games left. Felt that it was really important to get him a taste. Not easy coming in, 10 minutes or whatever it was left in the game. But again, his level of professionalism for the first day he stepped on the grounds at Zebra have been nothing but a willingness, a desire, and a great teammate. So with these next few games coming up, he's going to obviously get more minutes as we continue to rotate players in a way that is conducive to the challenges ahead.
And then earlier in the week, I spoke to you and you kind of said that we were talking about the 3 games this upcoming week, and you said we'll just go for FC Dallas and then recover and rest and see who pulls up well, and then plan accordingly for Minnesota midweek. How long do you have really, or at least do you anticipate before you have a pretty good idea as to how the guys who played tonight pulled up ahead of Minnesota?
Yeah, you're spot on, Tom, with that. I mean, it's no science, it's more art. The guys will, they'll tell you how they feel. Obviously, everyone wants to go, but I think there's been a lot of minutes being played from a lot of guys this year, in particular in the more attacking roles. And so trying to find a good balance where we can continue with the type of chemistry I think that we had in this game, and not losing that. So obviously you don't want to make too many changes. But again, we have to wait till probably Monday, Tuesday at the latest. The guys that logged in a lot of minutes will essentially be regenning for the next 2 days, and a light training session on Tuesday in preparation for the game. So we'll see how everyone comes through. But again, I think there's a lot of the heat tonight, the humidity tonight was palpable. So we're just gonna have to wait and see.
All right, we'll move to Alex. Your line's open.
Hey, Pablo, thanks for the time. As always, you're mentioning guys that have played a lot of minutes, and somebody that's played, a ton is Miriam, who hit 2,000 minutes tonight on the year, which I think is the most he's played since 2017. Do you think he'll need to limit his minutes in this, upcoming 3-game stretch? And if so, who do you see, kind of filling in that spot?
I think that we're going to have to really tread carefully with Miriam. I thought tonight he was fantastic. And again, the reason why I think he's logging so many minutes, he brings something to our group that is very different. His ability to penetrate on the dribble, isolate for 1v1s, link of play. I thought tonight was really, really good, especially in the middle third. So I think he's a guy that I think a lot of people thought he wouldn't be in this position to be able to log these kind of minutes and yet be productive, and yet he continues to supersede those expectations. So but you're spot on, and I think that goes to what Tom asked as to how we divvy up those minutes. I don't see him, get going 60. Having said that, he's an important player for our group. And as to who could come in and fill that role, I think Diego's played that position before, and something that we've looked at in training. Rubio's done a really good job coming into games in that position. I think Chang, those are probably the ones. And a wild card would probably be Brody. But again, if we're going to rotate Brody, it's to rest him and not necessarily play him in the wide position.
Gotcha. And then you mentioned in the past that you wanted to move Savarino more central to get him, more involved. And he played long stretches today, both out wide and in the middle. What did you make of his performance in both areas tonight?
Yeah, no, I thought Savarino was really good. I think he linked up when he came centrally. He helped us link up and find the weak side. He had some good central, combinations. He had a couple good looks at goal. So I think, what was really nice tonight was out wide is 1v1 where he was able to put in a really good cross and beat his guy off the dribble. So I think, really with guys like Saba is their ability to find space, whether it's central or out wide, and the only real tactic that will change is where he defends, if he defends from a central position or a wide position. But when he comes inside, one of the forwards will have to go out wide and defend. And so having that flexibility to play him out wide and centrally and yet, produce what he's doing is really an asset to this group.
Thanks. And then lastly, do you have any update on Jasper's injury?
No, I don't. I think Jasper's another player that's logged an incredible amount of minutes, and his minutes are very unique to the group, where they're a ton of dynamic actions, high speed running, and so he's going to definitely be another player that we're going to have to tread carefully with as we progress in this week.
Thanks for the time, Pablo.
All right, Joseph, now to you.
Hola Pablo, unas preguntas en español. Quería preguntar sobre lo que piensas del partido en cuanto a cómo jugó Aaron Herrera y Anderson Julio cuando entró, como ellos cambiaron un poco, y también Rubio, que yo creo que la entrada de Julio y Rubio ayudó a cambiar un poco en el ataque.
Sí, yo creo que el Aaron jugó bastante bien, especialmente en el segundo tiempo. Llegó hasta el tercio final para meter centro y lo hizo muy bien. Y defensivamente también creo que nos ayudó bastante, ganando pelota en el medio campo, en la banda, y jugó un partido completo. El Rubio también aguantaba balón para el equipo para subir y tomó buenas decisiones, defensivamente bien. Lo único que le faltó es el gol, pero se puso en las posiciones para hacer los goles, y eso es muy importante para el grupo. Y el Anderson, yo creo que el posición favorable para Anderson es siempre el 9, porque tiene la velocidad y también el cambio ¿cómo se dice? El arranque que tiene es muy difícil, especialmente en los 60, 70 minutos para los defensores, y tuvo dos buenas oportunidades y marcó uno. Así, para mí, el Julio está jugando el mejor fútbol del año en este momento, y también es muy importante para el grupo.
Y hablaste de hacer rotaciones de los jugadores, pero especialmente con este partido en casa el miércoles contra Minnesota, que es muy importante. Uno de esos partidos de 9 puntos, como has dicho. ¿Qué planeas hacer, especialmente con algunos jugadores saliendo un poco lesionados?
Sí, tenemos que ver cómo todos salen de este partido. Hay 2 o 3 jugadores ahora con el médico, y hay que revisar y ver cómo salen del partido. Yo creo que el lunes vamos a tener una mejor idea cómo vamos a ir, pero yo creo que lo importante es que no les ponemos en una posición donde se van a lesionar, porque nos faltan 7 partidos y tenemos que tener el plantel fijo para hacer un rumbo a los playoffs. Así, pero vamos a ver, el lunes vamos a tener mejor idea.
Y por último, poco a poco vas a tener más jugadores disponibles, con Bryan Oviedo llegando, con jugadores regresando de lesiones. y pues, bueno, con muchos partidos juntos para llegar al final de la temporada, ¿cómo planeas integrar a esos nuevos jugadores que tal vez no han jugado por mucho tiempo o nunca con el equipo?
Sí, eso es el desafío más grande. No tenemos mucho tiempo y necesitan tiempo para llegar al nivel físico para poder apoyar el grupo. Y eso hay que encontrar minutos y si tenemos que cambiar la formación, esta noche entraron el Rubio y el Anderson y el sábado jugó sobre la banda derecha y yo creo que anduvo muy bien y las combinaciones central con el Saba metiéndose un poco más al medio, nos ayudó bastante. Así tenemos opciones y tenemos que ver cómo vienen. La semana que viene el Bobby se va a juntar con el grupo. El Dani ya ha entrenado 3 veces con el grupo, así poco a poco estamos sumando jugadores y espero que tenemos un plantel lleno para seguir marcando puntos y sacando resultados.
Gracias, Pablo.
Thank you, Pablo.
Thanks, guys.
Started. Tom, your line's open.
Hey Brian, what was the first taste of Major League Soccer like for you?
Well, I'm very happy to play my first game, to make my debut. I think it was a hard game. Dallas is a team who play very well, and I think it was a good result. Of course, we want to get the 3 point, but I think going with 1 point is a good result for us.
In one of your touches within that 10 minutes that you played, you kind of bullied an FC Dallas player off the ball, used your strength. Would you consider yourself one of the stronger left backs going around?
Well, I think my goals here is come to be the best left back in the league. Of course, it's going to be difficult, but I am going to working every day for this, training well, and we'll have the chance to play, do my best. So I think today was a really good game for a start to feel how is the MLS league, and I am so happy. I think I in the future I come and be better and better, and I hope so get more minutes in the next games.
You came at an interesting time. Your first real week of playing will consist of 3 games in 8 days. I imagine you hope to see more minutes over the next 2 games, I guess, more than 10 minutes anyway. Is that fair to assume?
Well, I am working for that. Of course, today I only have 2 trainings with the team. I just arrived last Tuesday and training today, so it's not easy to get 100% with the team yet because I just start to know the other players. But I think I need to adapt as quickly as possible because what you say, we have a lot of games in the next week or in the next 2 weeks. So I want to be ready if I have the chance to play, try to do my best and try to help the team.
All right, Joseph, your line's open.
Hola, Brian, unas preguntas en español. Quería preguntar sobre tus primeras impresiones sobre el equipo, porque como dijiste, recién llegaste el martes.
Bueno, la verdad que estoy muy contento, aunque llegué el martes, vi algunos partidos anteriormente antes de llegar y estoy muy contento porque el equipo juega muy bien, tiene una muy buena unión y en todos los partidos que vi se notó la intensidad que tanto el cuerpo técnico o que tanto el entrenador como el cuerpo técnico quieren en el equipo y eso me hace feliz. Creo que llega un gran equipo y por la dinámica creo que es algo que se me adapta muy bien.
Y bueno, antes de venir aquí estabas entrenando, quedándote fit, por decir, para estar listo para estar jugando otra vez. ¿Te sientes bien para jugar, como no puedo decir, de titular de uno o más preferirías en esos momentos jugar entrando de cambio como lo hiciste hoy hasta que estás al ritmo con el equipo?
Bueno, como dije antes, creo que con 2 entrenamientos era difícil quizás jugar bastante. Creo que hoy fue un buen tiempo para poder comenzar, para poder adaptarme al equipo, para ver cómo son ellos y bueno, creo que si me toca la oportunidad de jugar voy a estar listo pueda estar preparado para dar lo mejor de mí y poder ayudar al equipo a que poder clasificar los playoffs y después seguir hacia adelante hasta ganar la liga, Dios primero.
Y hoy, ¿cómo te sentiste en tus 10 más o menos minutos que tuviste?
Bien, bien, obviamente era un poco difícil entrar así porque ya el Dallas ya tenía la posición de la pelota en los últimos minutos y querían atacar. Creo que sí fueron muy ofensivos, pero en lo personal, creo que bien, tranquilo y obviamente conforme vaya jugando voy a mejorar cada día.
Okay, gracias.
Me gusta.
All right, Alex, we'll finish with you. Your line's open.
Hey, Bryan, you kind of mentioned, meeting guys on the team and integrating yourself into the team. And has anybody specifically stood out and really helped you kind of, get used to the locker room and the players on the roster?
I think everyone are really, really friendly people. Everyone tried to help me as quick as possible to be involved with the team. So that is why I'm so happy with this. So I think to be with the team and be involved with the team, it's going to be really quick because everyone tried to help me, the players and the staff, and also all the people around. So that is really important for me, and I feel like I be for the last 2-3 months here.
Thanks, Bryan.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Bryan. Appreciate it.
Gracias, Bryan.
De nada. Bye.
Thank you, sir. See you there.
G'day, Aaron. Congratulations on notching your second assist on the year. It appeared as though the longer the game went, the better you got. What do you think that was? Do you just feel more comfortable out there as the minutes went by?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I sort of thrive in the hotter weather, being from New Mexico, and especially when I was playing academy in Arizona. I think whenever we go to a place like this, it's an advantage for me almost, because I think as the game goes on, yeah, like you said, I'm able to keep going, and when I see everyone else starting to get more tired, it gives me even more motivation to get going even more.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts. You obviously, your profession is pressure filled, and you're constantly competing with yourself and others, but the club has brought in a handful of players to kind of hopefully add to some of that competition. Have you had much thought, just with Oviedo coming in, and Brody can obviously play right back? There is more competition maybe now than there was a month ago. Do you enjoy that competition side of things?
Yeah, competition's always good. It's going to bring the best out of anyone. I think if you don't have anyone behind you and you just have a spot locked down regardless of how you're playing, you're not going to be at your best. So it's always good bringing in guys, and I mean, especially experienced guys who come in and they want to play, obviously. So yeah, I mean, competition brings the best out of everyone for sure.
And then lastly, from me, you talked about being from New Mexico, used to the humidity. It's obviously a pretty big week with two more pretty important games, I think it's fair to say. Have you shared any advice with teammates as to how to recover promptly from the humidity?
No, not really. I think everyone here is like I said, pretty experienced and pretty professional, and everyone knows what they need to do. Everyone knows what's best for them. Everyone recovers in different ways. So I mean, everyone knows that we got 2 big games coming up, and yeah, it's obviously a short turnaround for both of them. So I mean, it's pretty much bed rest and doing everything you can to get the body right to be ready to go again, to grind for sure.
All right, Alex, your line's open.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for the time. You mentioned competition is, being pretty vital and pushes everybody to be their best. Who's the guy that pushes you most in training?
I mean, for me, it's myself. I mean, I want to go out there and try to be one of the best players in training every day, and I always hold myself to a high standard. So yeah, for me, it's me. I'm trying to keep getting better and trying to be the best I can for the team.
Nice. And then the goal tonight came from what looked like to me a pretty textbook, Aaron Herrera assist. Has there been a concerted effort from you and the team recently to try and get you back into the spots that, were so consistent last year?
I think I've been in those spots a lot this year. The ball just hasn't been going in the back of the net. I think the the lack of assist isn't for the lack of service or lack of quality of service. I've been putting them in there. It's just, like I said, the goals haven't been going in. So, I mean, Anderson made a great play today, obviously a great header. And yeah, it takes someone on the other end to put it in the net for me. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, great goal from Anderson today.
Thanks for the time.
All right, Joseph, we'll finish with you. Your line's open.
Hey, Aaron, wanted to ask about your defending assignment tonight against Alan Velasco. He got the early goal. How did that like change the way that you look to defend him at all? Or give you like a little bit of extra motivation to just make sure he didn't get any chances? Because you pretty much shut him down for the rest of the game.
Yeah, no, I mean, the goal was a bit of a fluke goal. The ball was bouncing around off. It was just pinballing off a couple of players and just fell right to him. And I wasn't able to get over it quick enough. I thought I was in a good spot to get a block, but I mean, apparently not. I don't know if it went through my legs or what, but yeah, he's a good technical player on the ball who likes to run at guys and get on the dribble. So yeah, it's good to always sort of try to rough a guy up like that and make him not want to run at you as much. So yeah, I mean, I fouled him a couple of times in the first half, trying to be aggressive with him and then show him that it's not going to be easy. And I mean, yeah, but he's a quality player. And I mean, any attacker like that, you got to get into him a little bit.
And then for me, one of the highlights of the game was a last-ditch slide tackle you made to stop I think it may have been Velasco coming in from the left side or maybe someone else. But do you like remember much from that tackle and how that kind of played out in your mind? Or is that just one of like those heat of the moment things where you just did and you don't really remember too much?
No, I remember it. I was just trying to anticipate a ball game played in. I like to put myself in a spot to where I can hopefully be able to cut that pass off. And if I'm not able to, I'm just able to recover and defend them 1v1. And right there is the ball wasn't played wide enough to avoid me. So I was able to just put myself in line. Yeah, clear it and never going the other way.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right, thanks, Aaron. That's all from us. We will be back in person at Rio Tinto Stadium ahead of Wednesday night's match. So if you'd like to talk to anyone, I suggest you come out and visit us. Thank you, guys.